And the sheriff. The sheriff and the county board.
Okay, I'd like to call this meeting of the Board of Commissioners to order for June 3rd, 2013. Do we have anyone from the Ministerial Association? Okay, if not, let's stand and say the pledge to flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you would, please turn the ringers down on your phone at this time. And the first item on our agenda is Regional 4 Workforce Board, Roger Feldhaus.
Work my way through the crowd here. I'm going to sell tickets to these things.
You didn't get one?
Yeah, we had trouble. Yeah, we had trouble getting underscore card. All right. I have some extra handouts here. A couple more.
I'd like to have one, please.
Just one more. What? Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Thank you.
There isn't a lot of time, and I know you have a busy schedule, so I'll kind of cut to the chase. I am Roger Feldhaus. I'm the Executive Director for the Regional Workforce Board, which of course includes Tipton County. With me, there are some folks here. Mike Klein. Mike is or Mike Smith, rather. Introduce you to Mike Klein. Is the Workforce Board representative from Tipton County, representing business. Terry Simons is the area regional coordinator for the Work One services in this part of our region. And Treva Nichols and Renee Weskus are team leaders at the Work One Center in Kokomo, who serve this area. And we'll introduce you to Ann Pinkerton in a little bit, and she'll be speaking to you very briefly. The focus, in the interest of time, the focus of the regional board at this particular time is making sure that the funds that come to this part of Indiana are invested in training people, providing educational opportunities for young people and for incumbent and mature workers to prepare them for jobs that are in demand. So we look at where the demand is, where the investment of the private sector is. And clearly in this region of the world, or this region of the state, the investment has been heavily in manufacturing. We can account for conservatively $2.5 billion that have been announced, and are actually some of this already being invested in the growth of manufacturing, whether it be at Chrysler or whether it be at Subaru of Indiana, or a number of other smaller investments. If you add it all up over the next 4 years, there will be a tremendous amount of, and it's ongoing, there's a tremendous amount of investment.
Could you go to the microphone, please?
In manufacturing.
Can you not hear?
Come on. It's over here.
Okay, the microphone's here
I'm
too.
sorry. Yeah. Excuse me.
So to match the investment of workforce development funds in a way that matches that of industrial and other investments in our regional economy. One of the ways we do that is particularly relative to manufacturing, is the sponsorship along with local economic development organizations and Ivy Tech sponsorship of a program called the Advancing Manufacturing Initiative, which results in, and that is explained in the white handout there that you have in your booklet. The Advancing Manufacturing Initiative prepares people who may not have a great deal of experience or the specific kinds of skills and background that manufacturing employers are looking for. This program helps them get a certified production technician credential, that makes them more valuable to employers and gives them a kind of a front of the line opportunity in entry-level manufacturing occupations. We will be expanding that initiative to, with the support of industry, our manufacturing partners, and with local elected officials and local educators at the secondary level to have an internship program. We hope during the next, throughout the next school year, that will provide opportunities for young people who are involved in career and technical education, who are involved in Project Lead the Way or FIRST Robotics or some manufacturing-oriented career direction to help them get a leg up and get connected with employers at the local level. That's just a quick summary. In the back of the packet, the white packet that you have, are some statistics about the number of people served through the workforce investment system here in Tipton, and some demographic information about the number of people number of companies that are involved in the various industry sectors, and the percentage of the population that work in those sectors. Clearly, Tipton is typical for counties and communities in this region, in that somewhere between 20 and 30% of all employment is in the manufacturing sector, and that's why we're focusing on it as a board. I want to introduce very briefly, I've given you her name, but I'll let her introduce our participant guest, and that Terry Simons, if you would introduce Ann and tell us about your contact with her.
Thank you for allowing us time to come before you today and talk about our programs. We're honored to be able to serve the residents of Tipton County. One of those residents is Ann Pinkerton. She's been a client of the Work One and has engaged in training through Ivy Tech to upgrade her skills, to allow her to gain better employment. So I'd like to just briefly have Ann come and read her story and tell you about her experience with Work One office.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me speak with you today. I believe in stepping stones. Stepping stones often lead you to one place to another, and that's what Work One, as well as Ivy Tech Community College, has done for me. It's leading me to a better future. I received an Associate in Applied Science and Interior Design Technology from Ivy Tech Coast 20 years ago. And although I enjoyed my career as a kitchen designer, with the downturn of the economy, I kept getting laid off. In April 2010, my husband was severely injured in a motorcycle accident and was unable to work for 2 years. 6 weeks after his accident, I was once again laid off. The poor economy and the downturn of the housing market, as well as the construction industry, the company I worked for could no longer stay afloat, and ended up closing their doors. Being laid off this time was bittersweet. For the first time, neither one of us had an income. However, it allowed me to stay home and take care of him. But I eventually knew that I would need to do something. I enjoyed what I was doing, but I needed a job that was more permanent and stable. So I decided to return to school for more training and education. I knew that in order for me to make myself more marketable and obtain long-term employment, I had to return to school. I chose Ivy Tech Community College because I already had a degree from there. Secondly, it was close to home, and it was smaller than the larger universities. I prefer the more intimate classrooms where I can receive more one-on-one attention from the professors. I majored in business administration and graduated 3 weeks ago. I made the Dean's List every semester. I was a member of Phi Theta Kappa, the National Honor Society for 2-year colleges. I completed the Ivy Tech Student Leadership Academy and was president of Business Administration Student Organization as well. With my husband's accident and me being laid off, it was like having the rug pulled out from underneath us financially. Ivy Tech Community College is much more affordable than other colleges and universities, but I had to find a way to pay for my education. The only weekly income I had at the time was my unemployment checks, and that was not going to last forever. Someone told me to talk with Work One about going to school through the Workforce Investment Act. I filled out the necessary paperwork and was accepted into the program. This was a huge stepping stone to securing my future. It's scholarship programs such as this that make it possible for students to further their education and gain the training they need in order to become gainfully employed and be able to provide for their families. There's no way I could have been able to afford to return to college if it had not been for programs like the Workforce Investment Act. I had a wonderful experience at Ivy Tech. The classes were challenging and the teachers were extremely helpful. I am so grateful for all the support I received from both faculty and staff at Ivy Tech as well as from Work One. Julie Paul and Jeanette Dwyer at Work One have been absolutely wonderful to work with. I feel I will now be better prepared to return to the workforce. I do believe in stepping stones. I believe that every person I've met the last couple of years and every class I've taken has been a stepping stone leading me to something. I don't know what God has in store for me, but I hope that someday I can be a stepping stone for someone else. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations to you.
I know you have a busy schedule and we're a little over time. I just want to thank the board for your support of workforce development. We have, Terry just told me that we have about 17 people who are enrolled in employment training programs through the Workforce Board and the Work One system who are starting on-the-job training with Chrysler this today. So we hope some of those folks end up here at the Timpton facility in due time. And again, thank you for hearing us. Thank you for your support. And best wishes to you.
Thanks for the report, Roger. Thank you. Payroll.
Probably noticed the totals are a little bit higher. There was a little over $2,000 in treasurer part-time. And the gross total for June 7th, 2013 payroll was $130,672.67.
You go through it.
No changes from the last comment.
I'll make a motion, we pay payroll for check date 6/7/2013 in the amount of $130,672.67.
Second. We have a motion second on the floor to pay the payroll today for June 7th in the total amount of $130,672.67. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Miscellaneous claims.
Claims total $254,744.93.
The same as email.
It is the same. Well, you didn't have the insurance claim.
I'll make a motion, we pay claims for docket date 6/3/2013 in the amount of $254,744.93.
Second. Motion second on the floor to pay the miscellaneous claims in the amount for June 3rd in the total amount of $254,744.93. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We had a separate docket to pay TDS in the amount of $1,000. $500 for internet, $500 for the courthouse.
I move we approve the claim for TDS for the amount of $1,000.
Second.
Motion is second on the floor to pay the TDS claim for telephone and high-speed internet access, $1,000 for May 23rd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Last docket was for Courthouse Pro Alliance Energy for $484.10.
Move that we approve the claim or Pro Alliance Energy for $484.10.
Second.
We have a motion second on the floor to pay the Pro Alliance bill for May 24th, 2013, in the amount of $484.10. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Highway Department.
Morning.
Morning, Brett.
I have a application to work in the right of way. It's from the Indiana Fiber Network. We're gonna put a new run of fiber from the hand pole at 28 in the bypass. It affects us about 20 feet. We're gonna bore from there over to Farmers Bank, new run of fiber.
Where's that at?
Now I got the bypass in 28. There's a diagram on the second page.
I'm good with you.
I move we approve permit 2013-10 at South Ash Street, bypass in Tipton for Indiana Fiber Networks.
Second.
We have a motion second on the floor to pass permit, grant permit 2013-10 for right-of-way work on the bypass at State Road 28 in Indiana Fiber Network. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And I have a drainage structure request. It's on 300 North between 650 and 700 East. It's actually for Mark Coughlin. We're going to add a 12-inch culvert pipe across 300 North to alleviate the water from building up around his house. And we're also going to install an 8-inch tile from a county tile, which is to the west of there, to a surface drain there by the pipe to pick up some of the water coming off of it.
You're gonna do all this work?
Yeah. I think White's gonna pick up there for us.
So this isn't a permit, you're not requesting a permit since you're doing the work.
You just need approval for the.
Yeah.
Okay. I move we approve the recommendation of the county highway for the ditching and drainage work at 300 north between 6 and 700 east.
Second.
We have a motion second on the floor to approve the highway's request to do work on 300 north between 600 and 700 east concerning drainage issues, culvert pipe, and 8-inch tile. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Did he agree to that going west too? Made him happy?
Yeah, I think so. As full as can be. That's all I have. You guys got any questions or anything?
No, I don't have any.
Have you heard anything about the legislature's money and whether it's gonna take effect July 1st or not?
No, not a thing. As
Is
soon as
there
I can
anything-
find out something, I can let you know, but I haven't heard anything at all.
Yeah, it's already passed, it's just.
It was just, I just read something the other day where they thought they might release that money right after the 1st of July, but I don't know whether they just release half of it, because half of it would be $200-some-thousand.
Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna have time to be able to use it this year or not, possibly.
Okay.
Thanks.
Phil?
Good morning.
Morning.
I sent you the report on Friday, and just want to quick go over a couple things. On the landfill, everything, I showed you that the new discharge permit has to be developed for next, basically get started in October. The permit expires next spring, so we'll be moving ahead with that. And also, I know Commissioner Klein and Commissioner Herron went out there and looked at what Mr. Amato is doing with the woods, cutting some of the.
Or the Frisbee Golf Course.
Frisbee Golf Course, is doing from what you guys have said, is doing a great job of cleaning up the woods there on the north side of the Laurel Pit. And in a conversation I had with Commissioner Herron last week, we started talking about that, about different ideas for that area. And so I wanted to present again to you guys, and I apologize because I just got this on Friday again and I didn't get copies. This was some proposed conceptual plans for the borrowed pit, and that's out there to convert it into some sort of a park slash nature trails thing. And so I just wanted you guys to take a look at it, and I can make copies eventually. But this was done by JF New and Associates. If you look at the graph, they have 3 different schemes. It just kind of shows you some ideas of what we're talking about.
You know what you were talking about? Bassville, that's already did some planning on that.
Yeah, and they have some costs associated with it in that report as well. JF New was the designer of the wetland treatment facility that's out there, and it's, like I said, they had some interesting ideas. There's 3 conceptual plans, kind of an A, B, and a C. C being the most elaborate with, pavilions, fishing piers, things like that. It's the final sheet of those. So I will.
Excuse me, Phil, where's the Frisbee relationship?
The Frisbee golf will be on the north side of that. It's not even shown. The driveway comes in right here. The Frisbee golf will be in those woods, basically.
Oh, all right, this is the
This is the
road.
county road.
Okay.
Exactly. And here are the wetland treatment cells.
It looks like they're doing some, this scheme here is doing some plantings,
Right.
actually in the road.
Right, and then as you go into each scheme, it becomes more elaborate. Here they're actually allowing, even pushing in some dirt, creating more like walkways and things like that, and some restrooms. And then in this final one, like I said, couple fishing piers, docks, boardwalk over to another picnic area, things like that. So it's just.
We should look at Laurel Pit Drive part of the time?
No, Borrow Pit is never dry.
Never dry.
It's, in fact, there.
Creek level, I suppose.
Yeah, it may actually, it's hard to even say because there really is no outlet well, there is an outlet, but it's a standpipe that then goes out back to the north in the big Cicero Creek, but it's kept, I think basically there's a minimum probably like 4 or 5 feet of water over most of the thing. And there are some areas toward the west end where they started to really dig out deep, and I think there can be about 20, 25 feet deep. Now, it's not very wide, it's only about, 30 or 40 feet wide there too, but there are some deep holes in it. That's my understanding.
You've seen that, okay.
You guys want a copy of that?
Yeah, I would like it.
Yeah, can you make us a copy of
Yes,
this?
I'll do that, and we'll just, I'll make copies for each one of you and give them to Ray as well, so. But I just wanted to show you that that is available. They have costs kind of stuff now.
When did they do this?
Oh, that's been 10 years since I think that's done that. So if it's something you guys would want to look into, I would suggest, maybe even just updating some ideas on the costs and stuff like that. We can do that, maybe get a landscape architect involved with different ideas too. But I thought it was some pretty neat conceptual plans at least. Work with schools and things like that too. So, and there may actually be funding available for something like that too. I don't know. I mean, through the DNR, through other agencies and stuff, we can look into.
But this figure, this 144,252 is the figure of when this was, not the March 13th, 2000. Oh, that's 2003, not 13.
Yeah. There's,
Okay,
like I said,
that answers the question.
that's 10 years. So, okay. Any other questions on the landfill? I'm gonna run out there today as well, just see how they've been doing, if they did work over the weekend, and see if they've started on the fence. The parking lot, I sent you the email concerning that from ATC Cardno from Morgan Salt Giver. Basically, she's saying there's money in the budget right now to deal with IDEM and any additional requests and stuff like that. I think though, if IDEM comes back after this report has been reviewed and they say we want additional test wells, that's what we're gonna probably get another request for, this because it runs about $6,000 or $7,000 to put those in. I mean, it's just the amount of money to have someone come up and drill and stuff like that. So, but we won't know for probably 2 or 3 more months.
We really don't know in that whole scheme of things whether we have a problem or not yet, right? Or is it the degree of the problem?
I think more the degree of the problem. I think we have an issue, what the degree of that is.
And that was what they would require the additional test wells, right?
To see what the extent of that is. And like I said, I'm going to ask Morgan to come to a commissioner, whether you want her at a commissioner's meeting or if you just want to have an informal meeting with her to discuss these things. I would say sometime in July, that would be probably, she might have heard back from IDEM at that point in time. So I'm hoping until about then to suggest she comes up and talks with us. That's okay. Everything else was basically as is. One thing I neglected to do last meeting was to ask you guys to sign the title sheet for Bridge 61, which is over County Road 400 North over Urban Creek, where we set a bid date for July 1st. So if I can get your signatures on this. We'll do that. It will smudge, possibly.
Here, I better do this last one. You guys will be
Yeah.
on top of it. Not that I care about smudge.
I think it's best for you to do it in order, and then it will draw. And finally, the wind farm work that's going on by White Construction, and we had another progress meeting last week. They've been held up a little bit due to weather, in getting to Tipton to finish up the roads, the final grading and stuff like that, and then move forward with chip and seal. They plan to believe it's June 17th to be fully starting to chip and seal in Tipton. So probably the week of the 10th, next week, they'll be over here starting to do the final grading and stuff like that, which our inspectors will sign off on that before we allow them to move forward. They will do 2 layers of chip and seal and approve those before they move ahead and do the final 2 layers. So everything seems to be moving on as scheduled, and just look forward to having it completed.
What's the approximate time it'll take to complete the whole project? All the roads once they start on, say, June 17th or that week?
They're even thinking they may be done, depending on weather, by first week of July. I mean,
And EMB Paving's actually doing the work, is that right?
no, not the
No.
chip and seal. EMB and paving.
They're doing the pit?
Yes. Benich is, who is out of
Okay.
Illinois, is doing all the chip seal. And after discussing with them, and I would, I think Brett would agree with me, I'm fairly confident these guys know what the heck they're doing. They seem really on the ball. They do a lot of this stuff, so. But the EME paving will do the hot mix asphalt that will go on to like County Road 400 North. They will also do Division Road. And there's a section of 600 East that's going to be each a half of asphalt on it.
Okay.
I had 2 people call me that said they were impressed with the job White's were doing with the preparation of starting the grading already. And I've also told everybody to pass the word, and we might want Vicki put in the paper that when they start chip and sealing, there will be a period of time they need to watch out for fresh oil.
Yes.
People need to be aware there will be a short period of time with fresh oil. So,
Yeah, especially when they put prime down, you know, it's gonna be, and then, you know, we're, because
it said overnight.
It's an overnight thing with the prime, yes, and, but it does track up.
Especially if they're driving 40 miles an hour with the fresh prime down, they're going to throw tar on their vehicles.
Yes, yes.
Did
It
I-
would be just like anything that, you know, the county highway does too, so.
Didn't I see a drawing of which roads got what out there, whether it was chip and seal or paving?
Yes. Like to see
Can you,
that?
and if I remember right, it was a good, clear, simple drawing. Could we get a copy of that, maybe to post up here? I took my copy and was gonna draw it on the map, that didn't work out. And maybe even give to the press.
Yes.
Yeah,
I will.
would that pay us to give it to the Tribune to print that, you know, to people be aware that
We can do that. if
when they
you
put the,
request.
well, would it pay us? I mean, would it be worthwhile doing?
Well, it's their option whether they want to print it or not.
They, in discussions about how they want to work, when they move into Tipton County, they're going to go basically, if you're looking at the map, it'd be the northwest portion of the wind farm project, and they will move from there and start finishing roads and then chip sealing and moving kind of southeast, and then they'll also then go toward the south. And they will come back, like I said, they're going to do the 2 layers of 9s first and get that all completed, and then they're going to come back and hit it with the 2 layers of 11 after that. So, because they want 48 hours for a week. So they want a week. They want a week in between the first 2 layers and the last 2 layers, which is what, you know, we're gonna, and that's to allow everything to kind of catch. But, granted, this is all dependent on weather too, so.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll get that map and make sure it's clear for everyone to understand, and get you guys and speak to the papers as well.
that work bonded as a part of the economic development agreement or of the road agreement? Or was, it is bonded?
That's a very good one.
Pardon me? It's part of the road agreement. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Any
sir.
other questions for me? Good, sir.
Will you be available the next 10 days? I've got to do some work on the capital improvement program and I need some 560 information.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll be with you.
Thank you, Phil. Sheriff?
First, we have 20 inmates right now. Second off, I guess I should apologize. I didn't know our protocol was always to, if we have a wrecked vehicle, take the stuff to the auditor's office and say handle the insurance. I already thought about letting you guys know since you guys do own the cars, and I apologize for not doing that. We had a hit and run and we had one that wrecked earlier this year going to a call. Somebody, one of our officers was parked in the parking lot. Somebody ran into him and we were not there when he came out. That's the two vehicles we have, and I did not realize that they'd come and talk to you guys because they would just take the auditor's office. I know we went through a couple auditors, we got a couple auditors that knew them, don't know the protocol probably either. So, other than that, I think we have anything else. Got all the jail doors, they're all working and fixed now. So we had that done last week. Any other questions, Brandon, for me? I think
It's any comments or questions? Thanks,
All right.
Sheriff.
Thank you.
Linda Langley, Atlanta Earth Festival.
I'm on the Atlanta Earth Festival. You know, every year we go through about walking off the county line road. Well, last year, I've got these, if you want me to wait till Atlanta comes here, I can, or I can present my case now if you want me to.
What do you guys want to do? You want to?
What's your role?
I represent Tipton County side of the Atlanta Earth Festival.
Okay.
So if you want me to wait, you can guarantee me that you will let me know when they're going to come here, or I can get my case now on it.
We'll just hear both sides at the same time.
Apparently we're anticipating a controversial issue.
Rather, there's a disagreement
Is that,
between the two
is that?
groups.
Yes.
Okay. I think it'd probably be better.
To hear it at once.
Okay, when they, can you be sure that I'm notified when they are going to be put on the agenda, Steve? Okay. All right, that's all I need. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Linda. Let's move on to the resolution 2013-05.
Sure. Resolution 2013-5, whereas Tipton County is an employer of more than 50 persons, whereas Tipton County is a municipal entity that is subject to terms and conditions of the Affordable Care Act, which shall take effect on January 1st, 2014, whereas Tipton County needs to determine its obligations and costs of providing benefits to its full-time employees, and whereas the ACA has many complex requirements for providing health care benefits to employees, and whereas most of the health care benefits that the employees of Tipton County are receiving meet or exceed the minimums of the ACA, but there are additional areas that need further scrutiny and clarification. Now therefore be it resolved by the Tipton County Board of Commissioners hereby state, 1, part-time employment shall be defined as an employee that works no more than 28 hours in any particular week. A week is defined as Monday through Sunday. 2, a part-time employee of Tipton County shall not work more than 28 hours in any week. 3, all elected officials, department heads all elected officials and department heads shall accurately monitor and record the number of hours of part-time employees to determine that they do not work hours in excess of 28 per week. 4, officials and department heads shall report the number of hours worked for each part-time employee to the auditor's office each and every week. Approve this third day of June 2013.
We have any discussion concerning this resolution?
I move we adopt resolution 2013-05 as read.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion second on the floor to adopt resolution 2013-05 as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. That is out of discussions with Doug Heath, our insurance agent.
Should we mail a copy of that to all the department heads?
All department heads and elected officials.
I know we
should
sent a
receive
letter to
copy.
them.
Well, they should, you're right, they should have a copy of this.
They need to be given a copy of this now.
Yes, I did. Oh, okay.
Joe, when does that start? Pardon me, when does that start, your resolution?
Today.
Today?
Sorry, what did you say when that's on?
Today,
Thank you.
Greg, here's your copy. We'll have another one for you here, possibly here, make a minute here. And this, that is Phil's. Okay. Here we have a slide.
Have you got another copy with you?
Yes.
Would you want 2 copies signed, Greg, or just the one?
I want you copies.
It's always best.
If you got an extra, I didn't get one in my packet.
Yes, I think I'm really good.
I think I used my copy on that first signature.
All right, resolution 2013-06. Phil, would you read that, please?
Resolution 2013-06. Whereas Tipton County, Indiana is required to use services and goods of many different contractors for various projects, some via public bid and some by virtue of their unique services that they provide. And whereas many times the material and service providers contracted by Tipton County, Indiana are local residents or companies to help bolster the local economy, and whereas Tipton County requires all of its residents and businesses to pay their local real estate and personal property taxes in a complete and timely manner. And whereas the Board of Commissioners believe that it is fair and equitable and in the best interests of all the citizens of Tipton County that the material and service providers that are retained, hired, or contracted with be current on the payment of their own local real estate and personal property taxes. And whereas the Board of Commissioners believe that any Tipton County contractor, citizen, company, or business that desires to conduct business with the county must be current on the payment of their local real estate and personal property taxes, as well as complete and honest personal property tax filings with the county. And whereas the Board of Commissioners believe that if any Tipton County material or service provider is not current on the payment of their real estate or personal property taxes, as well as their filing of their personal property declaration forms, which must be honest and complete, then their services should be terminated, not used, or ineligible for bidding or contracting with the county. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Tipton County, Indiana, that all Tipton County, Indiana-based current contractors, material providers, service providers, or entities doing business with Tipton County shall be and remain current on the payment of any and all real estate taxes, assessments, and personal property tax payments to continue to do business with the county. All Tipton County, Indiana-based current contractors, service providers, or entities doing business with Tipton County shall be current in their filings of personal property declaration forms with the county assessor, and said forms shall be complete and honest in their declaration of personal property in Tipton County, Indiana. This resolution shall apply to any and all current and future contracts for services to be provided to the county from any service provider or contractor. This resolution or language similar shall be incorporated into all future contracts for the county for services and goods to be provided to the county. The county auditor shall provide a copy of this resolution to all office holders in the county to apply to their material or service providers, contractors, or others that do business with the county. The county auditor shall provide a copy of this resolution to all current Tipton County-based material and service providers currently providing materials or services under contract, purchase order, or other means to the county and its offices. Any material or service provider, contractor, or entity that desires to do business with Tipton County, Indiana in the future that is not current on their payment of their personal property and real estate taxes or the filing of their personal property declarations, or has filed personal property declarations which are not complete and honest, shall be declared ineligible to do business with Tipton County, Indiana. All current Tipton County-based material or service provider, contractor, or entity that is currently doing business with Tipton County, Indiana, that is not current on the payment of their personal property and real estate taxes or the filing of their personal property declarations, or has filed personal property declarations which are not complete and honest, shall be declared ineligible to do with business with Tipton County, Indiana, and their contract shall be canceled and determined to be void as against public policy.
Any discussion concerning this resolution?
Just to maybe give a little more information, I think what drove this was the assessor, and I certainly support that.
That's what I think.
And it's, certainly not fair for competitive bidders not being bidding competitively.
And this was just brought to our attention the last few weeks by the assessor. A problem that is going on that we did not realize.
I would certainly, if this is not effective, which I assume it will be, I would certainly be supporting putting an ordinance form, but I think for support.
As I told you in the email, I started out with the resolution because that's what you asked for, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought that as an ordinance, it becomes the effective law on the entire county, and those elected officials that have their own opportunity to purchase items, they would be obligated to follow this. As a resolution, it's a statement of the commissioners as an individual, but the individual elected office holders have their own opportunities and can do that. An ordinance would require everybody to follow the same rules.
And the resolution would be the first step in preparation for an ordinance.
You can introduce this as a motion to introduce, and then we can just change the number, call it an ordinance, because once you adopt a resolution using the same procedure as an ordinance, it becomes an ordinance.
I think we need to go with the ordinance first because there's only a few that the assessors having problems with. This may take care of the problem and not, have to put something in the law that we don't need to.
You just misspoke, right? You said you thought we need to go ahead with the ordinance.
I think we need to go ahead with the resolution.
I agree, because of the two situations she had, one's already been corrected.
Yeah.
So,
But it brought,
yeah,
it was corrected because it was brought up.
right.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we adopt resolution 2013-06.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion second on the floor to adopt the resolution that was just previously read, 2013-06. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mike, can I ask you a quick question on that?
Yes, go ahead, Ken.
I'm just wondering if this would cover, like, if it's a Howard County business that signs a contract with Tipton County, would you check to see if their taxes are current in another county?
I think I'll defer to John, but I'm assuming that we're concerned about people who live in Tipton County and are paying taxes in Tipton County.
It was specifically written for Tipton County business, doing business with Tipton County. I thought about the option, that's why I thought maybe the ordinance, but it was Tipton County based.
Thank you.
Do we have one to signed, Greg?
Yes.
So we'll do this one over there.
Nothing's taking your arrows. Got that what you paid for it?
Yeah, it is. For this request for the minutes.
Makes no difference to me. Minutes, I got the minutes there if you
All
want.
right, okay. Let's look at the minutes for May 20th.
I just have one correction on page 2, and maybe I misspoke, it may not be the auditor. Where it says, Commissioner Van River stated that the cost to the county may be $480,000. That should have been, I meant to say city,
Oh, yes.
if I did say county. That's all I said.
I can fix that. Are there any other corrections to the minutes?
Anything else? I make a motion, we accept minutes for May 20th, 2013 with minor correction.
We have a second. We have a motion second on the floor to accept the May 20th minutes with minor corrections. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Remember I sent you an email for the county merchants on request to use the bathrooms for that, what's that called?
It's Horton's.
Yeah.
Market, Fish Market.
Yes. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Do you remember the date?
No, I don't.
Remember the date, Greg?
No, I didn't receive that, but I know from last year it was.
12th? July 12th?
Yeah, Bridge Market.
2 dates, if I
Yeah.
remember.
It's like Friday and a Saturday.
Friday's already open. I think it's July 12th. Then, yeah, what that's about is we were requested to allow the courthouse restrooms to be used on Saturday during the French flea market that is downtown. We did that last year and they pay for the custodians, you know, they pay the expense. So,
Custodian was paid, and she reported to me that you changed out one roll of toilet paper.
yeah. So I guess,
Well, I think, you know,
It's not heavy use of the restrooms.
I certainly support that, and I don't think we need to be charging them for the custodian. I think, you
you think we need to pay for the custodian?
you know, as part of promotion to the downtown or the county or anything like that, you're bringing people to town, I think we need to pay.
Make that motion.
Well, I don't have my, I can't,
Don't have to have the date, just say during the French flea market.
all right. I move we open the courthouse restrooms for the French flea market on the dates that they request, which would be a Friday and Saturday in July.
Second that motion.
Okay, we have a vote.
And we were paying the court, we're gonna pay the custodian.
Yes, well, without putting in the motion for them to pay it,
All right.
we would assume that.
All right, I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion second on the floor then to allow the French flea market use of the courthouse bathrooms during our event in July. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
We'll just have to get with Ann for her to make some sort of arrangements. That's another thing we got to talk about. Is the
All right.
30 hours for Jay.
You wanna talk to him, or let me talk to him?
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
All right.
While we're on that, is Jay working 30 hours?
He's working 15 hours a week, supposed to be.
That's right. That's right. It's 50.
It's
It's
a
30
pay-
hours. It's 30 hours.
The pay period is a 2-week period, which is 30 hours.
So we're okay.
Yeah.
The other thing we need to do is, she still got that claim for the car that we didn't do anything about, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So she needs to come back in, I think, because she needs to pay, we need to pay the $1,000 that the insurance didn't cover.
Yeah, and does that come out of our budget, or does that come out?
It does.
of our- It does come out of our budget, since the insurance is with us and we own the cars.
Yeah, we didn't have any money.
That doesn't,
We'll just transfer it like she wanted to.
don't forget where she wanted to transfer.
Outside professional services, I think.
We can go ahead and make that motion.
Okay. We better wait till she gets here. Unless we want to do this one.
She'll be here. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Bill, do you want to do this or me?
Go ahead.
We have a request from Brett Burnett, President of the Tipton County Pork Festival, addressed to Mayor Havens and Commissioners. It says, Dear Mayor Havens and Commissioners, please find this as the Tipton County Pork Festival's official request to join us in principle and contribution with this interlocal marketing agreement between you, the executives of the city and the county, and the Tipton County Pork Festival. As you're aware, over 100,000 people visit the festival in this 3-day event. Their visitation promotes Tipton County, and its rich heritage with the pork industry. Pork Festival's publicity and marketing budget alone is $15,000. We're requesting partnership of equal thirds for this important budgetary endeavor. As a community, we appreciate your investment in this economic return to our wonderful city and county of Tipton. Sincerely, Brett Burnett, President of Tipton County Pork Festival. This request is accompanied by a endorsement by, says, Dear Commissioner Klein, please allow this correspondence to serve as the Tipton County Economic Development Organization's formal letter of support of the Tipton Pork Festival being included in the Economic Development Income Tax Plan. Tourism can be an important component of a successful economic development strategy, and the Tipton Pork Festival is an important part of Tipton County tourism. Sincerely, P. Jeffrey Sheridan, Executive Director. I move that we support the Pork Festival with a one-time $5,000 contribution for marketing from Project 52.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion second on the floor then to grant this request, Pork Festival, and endorsed by the EDO, for a request for marketing assistance for 1 year for $5,000. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Yes.
Hey, Lindsay?
Your recommendation, I was in pain with the first start.
Transfer $1,000 out of outside professional services to the insurance on place to make
You mean
up
it's excess?
That's
$1,000
about it.
less.
But insurance all types is zeroed out.
There's $400 in there.
So what was the deductible, $1,000?
We don't anticipate another deductible.
No,
Where'd you want that?
it's from outside professional services.
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we transfer $1,000 from outside professional services to insurance of all types.
Second.
We have a motion second on the floor to transfer $1,000 from outside professional services to insurance of all types. Cover claim on the wrecked sheriff's car. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And then you want to go ahead and make the motion to pay the claim?
Might as well,
This
yeah.
one, and it'll be the 3,626.96.
But you've been reimbursed reimbursed by 26, all at $1,000.
Yes.
Carries over the motion.
You have to make a motion.
Well, I know, but I just want to make sure he was ready. Okay. 36, 26, 96. I move we pay the claim to Murray's Body Shop for $3,626.96 to come out of insurance all times.
Second.
Motion second on the floor to pay the claim to Murray's Body Shop for auto repair in the amount of $3,626.96. And that is coming out of insurance of all times. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We need to sign that, though.
Everything else, Jeff? I don't think so. Phil, you have anything?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, do we have questions or comments from the public? Sure.
My name's Jeff Hoover. As you know, I'm a part of the Tiffin CRD, and we, of course, go around to different locations and try to inform people of the risk associated with wind turbines, industrial wind turbines. And we were at a meeting in Kempton, and we had a gentleman stand up as a commissioner from Clinton County that said he went around to some of the people or some of the homes in Wildcat and didn't get a good comment from any home that he went to. So being the inquisitive people that we are, we decided to do the same thing. So a few members of the CRD went door to door, and also we held a meeting over Windfall looking for people that, on both sides of the table to see what we come up with. And there are complaints, and I'd like to, is it all right if I hand out complaint forms? I live in-
Just a minute, John, what, with the situation that we are currently in with the UV project and discussion with the Board of Zoning Appeals,
This has nothing to do with UV.
We do have potential for a master plan change. I mean, this is probably better for that discussion because it is to the Plan Commission. And as I understand, they're going to take action sometime in July on that. This would probably be better served at that level so they can send it up to you with that information.
One of the commissioners has requested this information, and I was just showing up to give it to them.
I'm that person. I just got a call and I just exactly what Jeff said, and I said, well, I think I was asked to go to Windfall, and I said, instead send me the.
Well, it is the same night as the council meeting, so we understand.
But, you can send it to me, if it's a problem, send it to me privately, give it to me afterwards, there's no problem with that.
No, absolutely not. No, it's.
It's just written information as far as I'm concerned.
Can I give a copy to the auditor and enter this public record?
Sure, you can say give it to the auditor.
And
And
then
I would encourage you also to come to the Plan Commission meeting and give it to the Plan Commission, so it becomes part of the packet of information that comes back to the commissioners on consideration of the zoning change.
Well, on that issue, Steve Edson has sent us an email about there are certain planning commission members on the planning commission, they're also on the BZA, and he's warned us against giving them any information. So,
Well,
I don't want to step on those toes.
You can share the information with the Plan Commission during the course of the consideration. There's nothing improper about that, because that's information for the Plan Commission to share with it. You can even give it to Steve right now for them to consider as part of the Plan Commission. As the overall Plan Commission. It's not a contact of the BZA, but it's for the Plan Commission, for their consideration of the master plan change. That would be appropriate and proper.
So like the members of the planning commission that are on BZA, they can't see this information then?
Well, no, they would see it.
As planning
As
commission?
Plan Commission member, correct.
Okay.
Right, by statute, they have dual purposes, but you can give the plan commission information for their consideration. There's nothing improper about that. If they look at it as part of the BZA, they look at it as part of the BZA. I mean, that's, the statute clearly anticipates that, but you're not giving it to them as members of the BZA, you're giving it to them members of the plan commission.
Fair enough, thank you.
I'll be happy to clarify that with Steve, too.
And I think that needs to be done, because I got a letter yesterday from a wind proponent that thought that they were threatened, that they were in violation of the law. And it was on-
It's the same, yeah, he probably sent it to both sides, understand,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this was on
Yeah,
Steve's.
I'll chat with Steve after the meeting.
Thank you, John.
Okay. I'll send you a copy later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Nancy Carney. I'm sure people can finally hear somebody today. I have a question for the board. I was looking on the March 25th minutes, and I noticed that you paid, or I don't know the number exactly, it was over $9,000 for landscaping to be ripped up out from around the courthouse. And I couldn't find it anywhere. Maybe I missed it. I haven't been to all the meetings and I couldn't check all the minutes, but I thought it was normal protocol to actually take bids for that type of work. I thought the flowers were in pretty good shape, and they were roses and azaleas and some other stuff, and I guess, I know the Historical Society needed them, and other places could have used them. I'm just wondering, did those plants get just ripped up and thrown away? Did you offer them to give to somebody, or did anybody benefit from that? I mean, I think there were $3,000 or $4,000 probably at least is my estimate to be put in here, and they haven't been in that long. I was just wondering what was the reason behind it. I just think I come over here to get plants this weekend from Mr. Edinger, and I noticed that the courthouse just looks completely nude and not welcoming anymore, and I thought those flowers were a nice touch. And I guess the main thing I'm asking is, did you take bids, or did you just outright pay for this to be done without taking bids? And I thought it was a normal protocol to do that. Thank you.
Any comment?
The reason they were taken out because they were not friendly and they were out overgrowing the sidewalks. We did have Purdue's horticultural department, which came down, and it was a student's project. And we have landscape plans from Purdue and from Lee Landscaping. So offered, I asked anybody if they wanted them. I did not, go around and ask if anybody wanted them. I'm sure if somebody saw them and wanted them, Lee would have given them to them. I don't know what he did with the plants. As for taking the bids, it was less than the $10,000, and we had a good plan, and so we accepted his bid.
Okay, on that note, you took bids for lawn mowing services that was less than that. So I guess I was kind of confused on why you take bids on some things and not on others, and I just wanted some clarification on that.
Because Mr. Van Bibber noticed the lawn mowing, we started getting phone calls because of the Tribune's article. So since it was printed into the Tribune that we were looking for that, he thought we should go ahead and accept public bids on the landscape, or on the lawn mowing.
Okay, thank you.
And the previous person that did the landscaping, his plan did not, they weren't compatible with Purdue's plan or with Lee Landscaping, and we had things that were overgrown and that had to be removed in a short period of time, so.
The only thing I might add on the lawn mowing, and that's obviously our deficiency. It seems as though we were sitting here one day in February and we just got an unsolicited bid. Became, I guess, part of the record, and at that point, it was, we had to back off on things. That's my only explanation.
Other comments or questions?
Mike, I had a question on where the $5,000 are coming out. Was that edit funds you said, or for the Pork Fest?
Yeah, it's coming out of Project 52.
52?
Yeah, out of edit money.
Okay, thanks.
Any other comments?
I apologize. I have a question. I don't know if this is the right venue to introduce it or not, but my parents live in the proposed Prairie Breeze Wind Farm.
Sir, what's your name, sir?
Oh, Matt Jarvis. And I would just like to know if you guys have the power to get our Board of Health to do a survey of how many high-risk citizens, that being elderly with pre-existing medical conditions and children, live within the wind farm footprint. Basically because how can you make the decision without knowing that? I mean, I just feel like that would be information to add to people that are still on the fence of this wind farm debate, to know how many people that are high-risk citizens that are going to live within the footprint of a wind farm. Frankly, I believe it's unconstitutional to hope my parents have a good health day to go down to a BZA meeting and state publicly their medical condition on public record for anybody to come see and tell them that's why that it's unsafe for a wind turbine to be in their backyard. Frankly, I think our Board of Health could do a survey and it would be, there would be protection for the residents. Their diseases, their ailments aren't going to be public knowledge.
The health department has a separate board. That would be a presentation request you think of the board and also the health officer. Because the health officer is really in control of that department. The Board of Commissioners unfortunately aren't in control of the health department. They have to come to the Board of Commissioners for certain
I
things.
understand
but
that.
the
Yeah, I
health
mean, do you
board-
guys think that would be beneficial, or if that's just a waste of time? I mean, do you think finding out how many high-risk citizens live within a proposed area is a bad thing to learn?
Well, that information would be pertinent to the BZA, but not to us today concerning the Prairie Breeze.
No, I mean, not
project.
today, but just as
Well, you
public
mentioned
health
the-
for all your residents.
But you mentioned the Prairie Breeze project, and so.
Yeah, but I mean, for all future proposed wind farms, I mean, I'm not just talking about Prairie Breeze. I mean, I think that's something that should be done for every proposed wind farm in Tipton County, is finding out how many high-risk citizens live in that footprint. I mean, are you opposed or against that idea, or?
Well, it's really immaterial because the health board would make that decision as to whether it's
But if you guys would recommend that, obviously that would have some weight.
It's right downstairs, I mean, feel free to go talk to Dee right
So
now.
you're against it?
No, I'm not against it.
Okay. I appreciate
So I'm
that.
telling you, the health
I
department's
appreciate
right
that,
here,
yeah, 'cause-
save you another trip to
Yeah,
town
I
to
just
go to the
don't
health
see how
department.
anybody could be opposed to that. I mean, that's just information that's gonna help people decide. So, thank you.
And I'd add, anytime anybody can become more informed, it has to be better for the community. So,
Any other comments or questions? Motion to adjourn.
Motion being adjourned.
Second. Motion second on the floor to adjourn. All those in favor say